Bro, I gave you a chance. Like, what's wrong with you?
What's up, brother?
All right, what's up, man? So
it's an interesting genocide, right? When the population actually grows, right? How does that work? Because in general, when a genocide happens, the population gets, I don't know, lessened. Over here, the population actually grew. Also, in the stats that you're citing, which is from the Hamas Health Ministry.
Which figure exactly?
The figure of the amount of people who died.
Okay, which number?
Which number would you like?
You weren't listening. Which number?
Which number would you like?
No, I'm asking you, which number are you disputing?
Any number that you want.
How many do you think died then?
I think it was about 40,000.
You think about 40,000?
Yes.
Okay, let's go with 40,000.
Yeah.
It's more, but that's fine. We'll go 40,000.
However much you want. You could use 50, 60,
No,
whatever.
let's use 40.
100.
That's fine.
It's
that's
fine.
Now, let me ask you, how many of those 40,000 were Hamas?
Quite a few. More than half.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's say maybe...
More than half.
Okay, what do you estimate?
Let's say 21.
Okay.
Let's just use it on a low end. I think it was higher, but let's say 21.
Okay.
Do you know how urban warfare works?
Oh, so here's okay.
I
Let's
was a
address
soldier. I know how urban warfare works.
That's great.
In urban warfare, there's a higher percentage of civilian casualties in every single instance that there was urban warfare. There was a higher percentage of individual casualties than 1-to-1. In this, there's a miraculous 1-to-1. In addition to that, one more point, if you will have it.
Go ahead.
One more point is that there so happens to be no deaths from old ages accounted into this. And in a population of 2 million, we have a perfect statistic of the amount of deaths expected from old ages. But go ahead. You could spew whatever it is you want to spew. I will tell you one last thing before I end, is that Israel will stand strong, regardless of if the whole entire world, all 212 countries stand and tell us that we're wrong, we will stand and survive. But you could go ahead and you could tell us about the genocide where the population expanded. You could tell us about the genocide where somehow there was a 1-to-1, where this is the most moral army in the world. Israel did not have to send out text messages and phone calls to the areas that they're bombing. They do not need to evacuate the population.
When you say 1-to-1 ratio, do you mean civilian to Hamas fighter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, every single civilian death in war is unfortunate, and it's a sad occurrence. But this is actually unprecedented in the history of urban warfare. The United States and its allies have acted a lot more irrationally, quote unquote. I think it was rational, but a lot less. The ratio was a lot worse when it comes to this type of war, where you're fighting in a built-up zone against combatants that are hiding behind the civilian populations as a matter of policy, against combatants who are sworn to your destruction regardless of the price. This is a very, very simple equation. Whoever comes to kill you, our Bible says, wake up and kill them first. Now, anybody could say whatever it is they want. I could stand here against the entire world, all 6, 7 billion, 8 billion of them, and we will stand strong until the last man jack. That might hurt to an anti-Israel guy, but we will do it, and I will be there with them. But go ahead.
Okay, so the first point you made was that there isn't a genocide happening. Well, almost every... Where's he going? Where's he going? No, no. Let me address your points. Wow. Okay, that's incredible. So I let him speak. Right? I let him speak, and now he doesn't even want to stand on how he's about to get embarrassed right now, because I'm about to refute every single one of his points. Okay.
Let's hear it. Let's hear
okay.
It. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me hear what this anti-Semitic grifter has to say.
Let me speak.
He has the platform. Go ahead.
Let me speak, and I let you say everything that you want to say.
Yeah. Let them know that the Jews won't take this silently. But go ahead.
Okay. So the first claim you made was that this isn't a genocide. Every single genocide
population grew.
Okay. Every single genocide expert, to include Jewish Israeli researchers that study genocides and are Holocaust researchers, have deemed this as a genocide. Okay.
Population grew.
That's irrelevant. Systematically removing a group of people.
The population grew.
And there's also an ethnic cleansing. Every expert on this is saying that this is a genocide. To include Israeli humanitarian groups. That's number one.
The population grew.
Number two, your figure is 40,000 have died. Fair.
1-to-1.
Okay. Well, yeah. And then you said that about 21,000 were Hamas fighters, right?
At least.
Okay. That means that 19,000 people that are innocent died. That's
Urban warfare is
unacceptable.
unfortunate.
That's no. Oh,
Hiroshima,
it's unfortunate.
Nagasaki,
So let me ask you
Dresden.
this. Let me ask you this. What if Hamas said, "Oh, sorry, bro, we killed 600 of your people"? Would you accept that?
Hamas is not a fighter. Hamas targets civilians by default. That is
Really?
their 1-2 step. Yes.
Really?
They are sworn to our very
Who's
destruction.
killed more civilians during this conflict?
You could actually try and ratio this as much as you want, but if somebody came and killed one of my children, I will go out and kill every single last one of them.
Ah, so you'll
Yes.
kill even innocent people.
I will kill anybody who's responsible for the death
There
of my
you go.
children.
There you go.
Yes.
So isn't it interesting? Basically, off your numbers.
I don't know what kind of pussy you are, that if somebody came and threatened your family, you would
Getting
sit there
emotional.
and take it and say like, oh,
Getting very
let me
emotional.
try avoid collateral damage.
So anyway.
It's very simple.
Look,
Anybody who
can you stop
threatens
interrupting
me,
for 2 seconds?
they are right now signing
Look,
their death warrant and their
Look,
families.
I need you to relax a little bit.
I'm
Let me
pretty
finish-
relaxed,
let
but
me
you
finish
seem
what I'm
you seem
saying.
to be talking.
I was very calm
out
when
of-
you were giving your numbers. Let me please finish what I'm
Go
saying.
ahead, go ahead.
So first, you said it wasn't a genocide. Every genocide
Population
researcher,
grew.
Every prominent genocide researcher is saying this qualifies
But
as
the
a genocide.
population grew.
That's number one. Number
How
two,
does that happen in a
number
genocide?
Two, number two.
My nation suffered
Number
a
two, please let me
genocide. We
finish.
lost 6 million
Let me
people. That's a
finish.
genocide.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Next, you claim that 19,000 innocent people died. Even if I went
In
with your
urban
figure,
warfare?
even if I went with your figure, that is too much. Okay?
Urban warfare.
Now,
In
hold
urban
on.
warfare, the
Dude,
ratio is
bro,
12 to 1.
bro,
Did you see
gotta
what
stop.
happened in the
You have
Philippines
to-
in Middle War,
you have
in
to
the World
stop.
War
You
II?
have to stop. You have to stop. Let me finish what I'm saying because this all weaves together. Please stop interrupting. Okay? You're claiming that 19,000 innocent people have died. That is still unacceptable. And I'll tell you why it's unacceptable.
It's sad.
You mentioned urban
Not
warfare.
unacceptable.
No, it's unacceptable.
No, you're
it's
wrong.
unacceptable.
You don't know
Just
urban
like-
warfare.
Just like, here's the difference between me and you. I think it's unacceptable that Israelis died on that day, but you think it's totally acceptable for 19,000
Urban
innocent
warfare
people.
has
Oh, now you're saying urban warfare.
Yes, urban
Notice
warfare
how
in general,
you
in the history
justify-
of urban warfare,
Okay,
there's
well,
been a
Hamas-
12 to 1
by your
ratio.
logic, by your
The United
logic,
States has
Hamas
liberated
was
the
doing urban
Philippines in
warfare
World
too.
War II
By your
with a
logic,
12 to 1 ratio.
By your logic,
In-
Hamas was doing
in
so
Japan
they're
in
better
World
than
War
you guys
II?
at urban warfare. They
What?
killed less civilians.
We're amazing at urban
Oh,
warfare.
okay. See now, when I put the
No,
shoe
no,
on
no.
the other
What do you
foot, it doesn't make sense.
what
Now-
big what
now let's
what
continue
what big
on.
what big
Now let's continue. Guys. All right.
Back up. Guys, back
All right.
up.
Fuck IDF, nigga.
Back up.
That's Conor McGregstein right there.
Hey. All right.
Back up.
All right.
up.
Let's
Back
continue.
up.
Let's keep going here. All right, guys. All right. So
Who did 9/11? Who did 9/11?
the Jews were involved. Anyway. So let me finish what I was saying. So
it was you.
okay, let me finish what I was saying.
think it was you guys.
So
I think it was you
he made a
guys.
bunch of ridiculous statements.
Who
He made a
did
bu-
9/11?
Yo, can you get this guy off the mic?
Who did 9/11?
Get this guy off the mic. All right. So I'm gonna finish saying what I was saying before I was interrupted several times. Number one, let's go through this systematically, okay? Number one. Yeah.
Guys,
Just mute his mic. Just mute his mic. So I can finish what I'm saying because I've been interrupted now like
Yeah,
6, 7
yeah,
times.
we give a man a chance.
So number one, he claims that it's not a genocide. It is a genocide. Every humanitarian organization, every genocide researcher is saying that this qualifies as a genocide. Number two, he claims that only 19,000 people have been killed. Even with his low figure, that is unacceptable. But we know it's actually 60,000 that died, confirmed, and there's hundreds of thousands missing. Number three, he mentioned that they have a fantastic urban warfare ratio. The problem is that the ratio is actually not that good with 1-to-1. It's actually more like 5-to-1. How do we know this? Because the way that you guys are targeting people is being used by a software called Lavender, which was made by Palantir. This software that you guys use does not really differentiate between civilian, innocent, Hamas fighter. Realistically speaking, you guys have killed around 15 to 20,000 Hamas fighters. So the reality is, the staggering majority of the people that you guys have killed are innocent civilians. Okay? Now, you said that they're hiding in population. Now, if they're hiding in the population and you guys claim that they're in the tunnels, why would you bomb above ground facilities? That doesn't make sense. Why would you bomb hospitals? Why would you bomb schools? Why would you bomb churches? Well, if they're hiding them underground, why are you bombing the building above ground? Now, let's get into the next thing. You mentioned that you guys have urban warfare, and you guys got a good ratio for urban warfare. Let me explain to you why that's bullshit. The government of Israel has significantly competent intelligence agencies. You guys can do direct airstrikes and do assassinations. As a matter of fact, the Mossad has the best ratio of assassinating their targets. So the reality is you guys have the capability of doing extremely targeted strikes, yet when it comes to Gaza, you guys are bombing them indiscriminately. Well, we know why. It's not about getting rid of Hamas. It's about getting rid of the Palestinians in total so that you can take the land and turn it into a beachfront resort for money down the road. How do I know this? Because Donald Trump fucked up and said, we're going to take Gaza. And then after he got a bunch of media backlash, he switched it around and didn't say a word after that. So this was never, ever about actually getting rid of Hamas or getting the hostages back. It's about taking the land of Gaza for having more power in the region and being the hegemony in the Middle East, which is what Israel wants. So everything that you're saying is a lie. So I want you guys to pay attention to how a lot of these Israelis are reacting to me talking about kids getting killed and starved. You guys see the indifference? You guys see how one guy said, I don't condemn genocide? Do you see how this guy is drunk off his ass, asking me questions that he doesn't even know the answer to, embarrassing himself in front of tens of thousands of people live right now? This is the Israelis. They're indifferent to human life if it's not Jewish or their nationality. That's the problem. You guys don't look at other people as humans, and this is why you guys got kicked out of 109 countries. So, this is what you guys do. You guys subvert, you take positions of power, and then you guys push your ideology and have other people wage wars on your behalf. It's ridiculous. And then you wonder why anti-Semitism is on the rise. Anti-Semitism is on the rise because of bad Jewish fucking behavior like that. You guys don't respect life, and people are calling you out on it. Now, yeah, promised to you 3,000 years ago. Incredible. See, the difference between you guys is I could differentiate, and I understand that all life matters. For you guys, if it's not Jewish or Israeli, you don't give a fuck. So that's why anti-Semitism is on the rise. And it's really your guys' fucking fault. So look, I don't condone violence, but you can't be committing a genocide, killing kids every day, and expect the world to accept it. Go ahead.
How you doing?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. Are you justifying anti-Semitism?
No, I'm saying that the dislike for Israel and the rise in anti-Semitism is directly tied to bad behavior and bad foreign policy.
So
there's consequences.
So just because someone's drunk or like say something that's out of pocket, that means like anti-Semitism is okay?
Well, here's the difference. I don't know if you were here earlier. You just might have got here, so I don't want to repeat. There was a guy earlier who was also an Israeli, and I asked him, do you condemn genocide? And he said, no, I do not condemn genocide. So here's my stance. If you're not going to condemn genocide and killing innocent people, then you deserve the anti-Semitism that comes your way.
And your perspective is that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza, correct?
Yes. That is according to all the experts, genocide researchers, to include Israelis, Jews that study the Holocaust. It's pretty much with every prominent researcher.
How do you define genocide?
Well, it is the killing, systematic killing of a group of people, okay? And there's also ethnic cleansing going on right now as we speak, because we know that they're trying to move these people out of Gaza to other Arab countries so they could take over the Strip. Donald Trump already dropped the ball on that one. So the reality is...
You said Israel also, like there's Israel news that says that they're committing a genocide, correct?
I'm sorry?
You said that there's Israel news also that says that Israel is committing a genocide?
Israeli news?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, there's Israeli researchers. Yes, Israeli researchers, Jewish researchers, all the genocide experts universally are condemning what's going on in Gaza as a genocide. There's a reason why, as we speak, Benjamin Netanyahu has an arrest warrant from the ICC.
Okay, but you could also look at it as in that the Hamas leaders also has a ICC
They do,
arrest
yeah.
warrant, right?
Yeah,
so
they do.
You realize that we're fighting a terrorist organization according to the Israeli news, right? Or what we're trying to do is stop Hamas.
I understand.
According to Israel, right? So when Israel is talking to their citizens and their people, they're like, okay, we have to do all this stuff to kill Hamas so this doesn't happen again, correct?
Yeah, I see your position. You're saying
So-
they're a terrorist organization.
What, Israel? No.
No. You're saying Hamas is a terrorist organization.
Of course.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They genocided. They tried to genocide us on October 7th. they try to kill every single person possible. I know you're gonna bring up like the Hannibal or whatnot.
Yeah, that's very
which
important.
Is not really that like, it's not really. It's something that was maybe happened in the past, but it's not something that actually happened in that situation. I agree with you that I think that.
Hold on, let me stop you real quick.
Sure.
Are you aware that the defense minister, Yoav Gallant, admitted on Israeli television that the Hannibal Directive was in fact activated on that day? And to take it a step further, he says it should have been activated in other areas as well. And we know 200 Israelis were killed by the IDF, confirmed.
I think that the Hannibal Directive is just something that the country uses as
Sure.
to like.
I don't have a problem. Like, I'm not
I
saying
think
it's bad that they're
trying-
doing it.
They're not. The Hannibal Directive is not designed to kill Israelis and to like get the kill count higher.
Yeah, but
It's
look,
done for whatever reason, and
I'll tell you
cannot
why it's done.
speak- I cannot speak
I'll tell
on the
you why
details.
it's done.
Hold on.
It-
I can't speak on the details on like why it was said by
Well, that's
whatever
important.
minister. I can't speak on that
the
detail.
details are very important.
Of course they are. But I could say that Israel's goal was not to kill their own people. You have to agree with that. That's not their goal. They don't want to increase the head count of Israeli civilians.
Yeah, well,
all.
here's the
That's
thing.
not the
He's
goal.
actually correct. So let me explain. You're actually correct
So
when
I-
you said
so
that
I
Israel's
find that
goal
that's,
is not to
like,
kill
misleading
their own
when you
people.
say
But
that.
hold on. This is why we need to go into the details and context. You're correct. The Israeli government obviously isn't trying to kill their own people. However, if they're being kidnapped by a Palestinian militia group, where they're going to be put in a very bad diplomatic position where they have to negotiate for hostages,
Which they're in right now, yeah.
which they're in right now, they would rather just shoot at the car and kill everyone inside versus having to turn over 100 Palestinians for one Israeli, because that's what happened. So the Hannibal Directive was activated on that day. And again, let me finish. It actually makes sense. It's very pragmatic. It's ruthless, but it is pragmatic. But if we're going to go and have a real conversation here, we need to understand that on October 7th, IDF soldiers killed innocent Israelis to avoid having to negotiate for them later.
It didn't work. It didn't work.
It actually did
we
work.
still have hostages in Gaza. What are
Yeah,
you
they
talking
didn't kill
about?
them all.
I'm sorry?
I said they didn't kill the IDF did not kill them all. That's
Putting
my
that
point.
aside. They activated the Hannibal Directive. It didn't work. There was 200 plus hostages. There's like 50 plus now. And the bodies, and that's very important obviously for Muslim cultures and Jewish cultures, for the bodies to come back, whatever. But the point is that I feel like it's misguiding the kind of the conversation, because the fact is that
Well,
they
not
still
many
do
people know
have-
this.
They still do have hostages in there. So like, if they didn't have any hostages and we killed all the hostages and the Hannibal Directive was activated and there's no hostages in Israel and Gaza, then I would potentially agree with you that they shouldn't bomb them indiscriminately and it's genocide, blah, blah, blah. But the point is that they do
They
have
should bomb them
hostages.
indiscriminately?
No, they shouldn't. I would agree with you.
Okay.
But they do have hostages in Gaza. They do have them underground, and we're trying to get them back. And if we had all of them back, or if the Hannibal Directive was activated properly and they were all killed, then I would agree with you that potentially it was a genocide.
Okay.
Do you not hear where I'm coming from? Should I repeat myself?
Yeah, you're kind of talking past what I'm trying to explain to you. Experts that study this, scholars,
It doesn't matter.
have already
There's
deemed this
still
a genocide.
hostages.
This
There's still
isn't
hostages in
debatable
Gaza.
anymore. That's not debatable anymore. It is a genocide. According to definition,
According
it's a
to
genocide.
whatever, yeah.
Number two, the Hannibal Directive was activated that day. They killed innocent Israelis. Fine, I understand why. Number three,
But they still have hostages, and you're not
systematically-
talking about
Well,
that.
here, okay, let's talk about the hostages. Are you aware of the fact that on October 10th, Hamas put a deal forward and said, we will give you back all the hostages if you do not invade Gaza? And Benjamin Netanyahu refused. Are you aware of that?
It wasn't that clear cut. There was more There was more details in that deal. It wasn't just if you don't invade Gaza.
Can
It's
I give
not
you the red
true.
pill? I'm going to give you the red pill. Benjamin Netanyahu doesn't give a fuck about the hostages.
I
and
agree
everybody
with
knows
you.
this.
I agree with you.
This is why.
I agree with you.
Okay, cool. What he's using the hostages for is so that he can wage a war on all of his enemies. He's used it to justify invading Lebanon, destabilizing Syria, bomb the Houthis, and finally attack Iran. He's been waiting for this for 30 years. If you understand Middle Eastern
what
foreign
happened-
policy,
what
let me
happened
finish. Let me
October-
finish.
What happened October 8th from Hezbollah, from Lebanon?
They shot rockets into
Exactly.
Israel.
Into Israel, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they've
and what
always been
happened
doing
with the Houthis? What have they been doing last week? Or
They've been
maybe, like,
attacking
yesterday?
ships. They've been attacking ships
And Israel.
to
Israel.
bankrupt
They
Israel.
were shooting missiles at Israel.
Yes.
Okay,
Again,
So you don't think that Israel, as its own like sovereignty, has the right to defend themselves against Hezbollah and against the Houthis in general?
sure, that's fine.
Okay, so
but
why
you're
is that a
missing.
talking point?
No. You're missing the point I'll make here. I'm saying That's the hostages are being used as pawns
by Hamas.
by Netanyahu.
Hamas. They were
But by
they're not
Hamas
that.
and Netanyahu. They're both of them, because Hamas is using it as leverage to get political power, and then Netanyahu is using it to justify his greater war across the region. Just so you know, I'm not sure if you know this, but for the people here, Netanyahu is currently going through a corruption trial, okay, for bribery. He's looking at maybe almost 10 years in jail. So
I'm not justifying
October
Bibi
7th,
Netanyahu's,
but I'm
like,
explaining
behavior.
why. I'm explaining why he doesn't care about the hostages. The faster he gets the hostages, the faster he has to end the war. The faster he ends the war, the faster he has to deal with the criminal court system in Israel.
Two things can
so
be true
he
at
has
the same
every
time.
single he has every
I
single
agree.
incentive
I agree with you.
to continue the
I
conflict.
fully agree with you, but two things could be true at the same time. He could be avoiding jail time, and he could be like trying to kill Hamas and ending Hamas at the same time. Do you agree with that? Two things could be true at the same time.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He is not, let me be crystal clear. He is not prioritizing the hostages to the degree that he's purporting to everyone else. And we know this because he could have gotten the hostages back on
But you're
October
not
10th.
in the negotiations. You don't know. You just know what happened on October 10th or whatever.
Oh, no.
Like, you don't exactly know how the negotiations are very difficult, very tough.
I understand that negotiations are difficult, but we have to be honest here, okay?
We have to be honest that if we had all the hostages back and we were still bombing Gaza, I would stand with you on this table and I would argue for the liberation of Gaza and Palestine.
do you know what-
100%. But the fact that there are still hostages in Gaza underground is the biggest thing that like 99%
Okay,
of
let me
Jewish people in
break this
America
down for you, okay? Let me
that-
break this out for you because I actually pay attention to all the deals. Hamas is willing to give all the hostages back. However, they need a permanent ceasefire. The Israelis
But who
refuse.
breaks the permanent ceasefires are just words.
Okay.
For you and for like other Americans.
and
other
they
people.
know that. And they know that. That's
It's
why.
not real.
That's why.
They don't
that is
value
why.
ceasefires.
Again, bro, I'm not here to debate
But
what
what
they're,
happened
what
when
it
after
is.
the first round?
I'm telling you. Yeah. The first round,
What happened after the first round?
Israel dropped the deal.
What happened? Israel dropped the deal?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
They shot rockets at us after they released the first batch. They were supposed to release 10 people per day, and instead of releasing 10 people per day, they just attacked us. It's fine. It's fine. You have your news, I have my news. But I know what Israel actually wants and what the people want. Not what Bibi Netanyahu wants, what the actual
That's who's
people
running
want.
your country, though. The problem is
One
that
of
he's
the
not
people.
doing what the people want. That's why they're literally
agree with you to a
they're
certain
protesting
extent.
every day in Tel Aviv. That proves my
I
point.
agree with you
they
to
don't
a
care
certain
about the
extent.
hostages, bro. Again, let me be clear about this. If Israel negotiated a permanent ceasefire, they would get all the hostages back. But they don't want to do that because they want to continue their bombing campaign and get them out of Gaza. That's what they really care about. It's about ethnic cleansing.
No
if you don't see
Israeli
that,
would agree with you.
then I don't. It doesn't
Not
matter what the
real
Israelis would
Israeli.
agree with.
Of course
the
it
truth is the truth.
It's the people.
So then if they don't agree with me, why are they protesting all across Tel Aviv saying bring the hostages back?
Because we want the hostages back.
So, okay, who has the
Make
power
a
to get
deal.
them back?
Make a deal.
Who has the power to make the deal?
Hamas can't make the deal.
No.
We're negotiating with terrorists. There's a
Israel-
reason why. There's a
Israel
reason
doesn't
why
wanna make the deal.
saying is don't negotiate with terrorists. This is like literally where it comes from.
Israel
literally
doesn't
where
want to
you
make the
cannot-
deal.
You cannot.
Israel doesn't
negotiate.
want a permanent ceasefire. That's what's holding this up. It's very simple.
Israel
man.
does one, and I would argue that maybe Bibi doesn't.
He's the
but-
one running the country.
But he's
That's
not
what
the
matters.
only. There's a lot of people that run the country. He's one of the people that run the country. Israel, the people, they want a ceasefire. They want the hostages back. And period. I hear where you're coming from. I respect your perspective, but I
Bro,
just
you don't even
disagree.
understand how your government works.
Of course, I understand. how the
Benjamin
government
Netanyahu is the last say-so. He's consolidated power
Of
to
course.
himself within the Knesset. So,
Of course.
like,
But
what he
he-
says goes. So you
He
literally
never
just
got a
defeated
deal.
your own
He did-
argument.
He did not get a deal to bring the
You're
rest of the
saying the
hostages.
Israelis want the hostages back.
We want the
I
hostages back.
agree. But you're saying, well, Bibi might not. That matters that he might not care about getting them back right now. That
Do you
matters.
think Hamas cares to bring us back the hostages?
I'll tell you this. They have more fire on their ass to give them back than Netanyahu does. And that's a fact.
They have a what?
They have
More fire?
more fire under their ass.
Well,
they
it's
have
not
more
working.
pressure. They have more pressure under their
They've
ass
had pressure
to
for the
make a
last
permanent
18 months.
ceasefire.
They've had the same amount of pressure the last 18 months. What are you talking about? Why didn't they just bring back the hostages?
All right, let me ask you this. Let's just
Serious
let's just
question.
use common sense. Who has more leverage in this negotiation? Netanyahu or Hamas?
Hamas.
No.
I think Hamas does.
Netanyahu has more
Personally.
leverage. Netanyahu has more
Well,
leverage.
Israel, remember, Israel is a democratic country. I know you're probably not going to agree with me. And the people are uprising, like you see every fucking day on the news. They want the hostages back. And at the end of the day, the prime minister has to feed what the people want.
Okay, and who is holding up the hostages coming back then? Netanyahu or Hamas?
Hamas.
That's not true.
So it's a philosophical
true.
difference. I don't agree with you.
It's not.
I think a terrorist organization, you don't negotiate with terrorists for a reason. This is it.
Okay, then you just defeated your own argument.
Sorry, go ahead.
That
Why?
if you're saying don't negotiate with terrorists,
We're
then-
trying.
then-
We've been trying.
which one is it?
We've been trying to negotiate with them, but it's not working. This is why we shouldn't negotiate with
Again.
terrorists, and we should go and do all these Mossad.
Look, man. Look, I'm gonna be crystal clear about this. Hamas wants a permanent ceasefire. Israel doesn't. That's what's holding up the deal.
I do not agree with you. They do not want to.
You don't have to agree. That's the truth.
It's
I've been
not the
studying.
truth.
I've been watching this every day, keeping in
You
touch with it.
haven't. You
There was a
haven't been- you-
3-part
you
deal.
don't know the
Dude,
real-
you didn't even.
just
You
reading
didn't even
a
know how many
website,
people were
like
killed
some
with the Hamel
article
directive,
that you
bro.
found
You're
online.
talking out your ass, man. You were
I'm
literally
not.
talking
I
out your
live
ass.
it. I exist it. I'm serious. You
Yeah, bro. How you feel versus what's real are two different things, bro. Like,
sorry? One more time.
like how you feel versus what's real are two different things.
But I'm on the ground.
The Israeli
I spent time
government,
there.
led by Benjamin Netanyahu, does not want a permanent ceasefire. Since they're not going to ensure a permanent ceasefire, Hamas doesn't want to give back the hostages. It's simple, dude.
wrong.
It's very simple.
It's wrong.
They could have got the hostages back on October 10th, and they didn't
Nope,
do it.
That's wrong. That's what they want you to think, and that's what
The Israel
that you
Times
were
reported
doing.
this. Israeli media reported this.
Fine, because they're allowed to have other people that are commenting on live. Israel has both sides. It's like you don't see Hamas news media that's both sides. You see Israel has both sides. It's a democracy. We speak on both sides. Some Israelis news outlets, yes, sure, they push one agenda, and then there's the right that pushes the other agenda. What does that make a difference? I
You
don't
want to know
understand.
why it's credible?
Why is it credible?
There's a guy that was representing all the families that got hostages taken.
Okay.
He went directly to the Knesset and the Israeli government and said, look, I'm here to advocate for them to come back. And he heard, while he was there talking with them, trying to find a way, this is early on, that they had a deal on the table to get them back on or about October 10th. In exchange for not invading Gaza and bombing them, they would give the hostages back. Netanyahu refused. Okay? That's a fact. That comes from the Israel Times. Look it up.
Why do you think he refused?
That's irrelevant.
I'm serious.
that-
Do you think it was just like, hey, here's a bus of
Bro,
all your
you're
hostages,
moving the
take them back?
goalpost. You're moving the goalpost. My argument
Or
is
does
simply
he want
that
2,000
Netanyahu,
2,000 Palestinian prisoners per hostage? Like what? Like it has to be reasonable.
bro, they were going to give them
Seriously.
back without hostage exchange. I just told you for not invading.
I don't. That never happened in the history of the fucking region where hostages from Israel was given back for nothing. That's not true.
Yeah,
It's
to not have
simply
Gaza
true.
toppled, I think
Has
they would
that
make
ever
that
happened?
deal.
Have we ever brought hostage?
To not get toppled, they would make that happen.
No, clearly not. And that's exactly what's happening now.
All right.
I'm done.
All right, man, that's fine. Bro, you got to do a little bit more research, man, with your own media. Okay, so we're going to close it out, guys. I think that's it.